Hello, folks. Welcome to another Bitcoin market analysis by Inspocrypto. Yes, a very simple introduction. First of all, Happy New Year. I hope you spent your last days in 2022 and hours with people you love and you like, and you celebrated just the shift from 2022 to 2023. I just want to spend few seconds. First of all, related to Phoenicia. Phoenicia is going to be my next project, crypto project. I will start to launch the website, Phoenicia website, where we will find some and provide some basic information about the project. Afterwards, part of the hub is going to be also the roadmap, so you can check the roadmap and check what we are going to launch this year and the next year. A lot of stuff is going to come. And we are with the hub. It was expected to be launched end of the year. We are right now a little bit in delay with some issues with resources. Well, some people are ill and so on and so forth. But however, it will take maybe some few further days, but we will launch it very soon. I will announce that. Many of you know that Phoenicia already has a Twitter account, so Phoenicia will tweet and I will retweet then, so you can follow the official account of Phoenicia. Next, we will check the market today to figure out what could happen this week, or at least until tomorrow, and we will see what's going to happen next. The market was very boring in the last, I would say, at least 1 week. Nothing big really happened. Today it was very interesting to see how the market was reacting. For example, also SPX and then DXY pushed up very hard. But it looks like that was a short-term move. I don't know why, to be honest. However, the DAX, the German index, did a big rally today, and it's once again indicating that markets are following its own rules without any fundamentals. So just to make clear, the average real salary in Germany drops as much as I was reading the last time that real salaries in Germany dropped that hard was in 1949, indicating that the middle class in Germany is shrinking. It seems that's extremely bullish. Of course, DAX companies are making big gains. Many of them related to gas, oil, and so on and so forth. So then you know where the inflation is coming. They are making big gains. Strange, isn't it? However, I think SPY, SPX could follow it. We will check if that's going to happen, but I can imagine. So many people are right now, they are spreading good news like the zero COVID policy in China is almost over, supply chain crisis is over, crude oil, gas prices are going down, and everything looks good. And pandemic, what pandemic? Nobody cares about COVID anymore. Well, then yesterday, for example, they published that a new stream of COVID arrived in UK, indicating we are not done here. That was at least an article from Daily Mail online, something I can share here. And yes, that can bring some problems once again. Don't check the naked woman, just only that here. So yeah, but the markets once again ignoring almost everything. Many people, or at least the markets, are just generating some narratives just to, to bring the prices up so they can unload in an upper prices, because nothing have changed. Crude oil and gas wasn't just the key factor in inflation, was part of it, like the supply chain crisis. But the supply chain crisis not only depends on the zero COVID policy in China, not only, it's a big part of it, that's right, but not only. Why? Because the whole geopolitical situation have changed since last year. So we are constructing such a big wall between the West and the East, and that's not going to change from one day to another, and in my opinion will not change anymore. So we also are noticing some streams in gold. So while Western countries are unloading their gold, Eastern countries are buying and absorbing their gold. Also very interesting. While, as we know, the CBDCs related to Western countries are not to be expected to be backed by gold, for example, like for countries or country members of the BRICS, where they are expecting to be backed by gold. So I think that's the start of a big phase. Nothing that's going to be very bullish, short-term bullish, maybe. I mean, they will try to push up the market, but such market conditions usually brings unexpected price moves, and that's something we should have in mind. I didn't change. I'm not bullish. I'm absolutely not bullish. But I could expect to go up more, to decline even more afterwards. That's something we will check. As you know, like Inspo always said, we can't forecast 1 week ahead, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month, 1 year, because the whole situation is really dynamic. But what we can do is trying to figure out and to generate a sentiment, a feeling for the market, to see if something is changing or not. At the moment, nothing has changed. The only thing that can change is the price, and that's usually driven by some actors that just want to unload in an upper price. That's my initial comment for today. Let us go forward and check, as last year, what the market is doing. I didn't change anything. Big changes are going to coming this year because of Phoenicia, as mentioned in the beginning. And until then, I will continue provide the analysis, the daily analysis, as you know. And that's what you can expect. I will announce more changes as soon as we launch the Phoenicia education website, with tutorials, with more stuff where you can learn, and also our daily analysis with more information, because we are going to introduce more information, bring also more stuff related to SPY, SPX, all these markets that also DXY will and have impact to the crypto market as well. But as mentioned, I will announce that before we start the migration from Substack to Phoenicia education. So anyway, let us go and start and check what's happening here to the market, if we can see something that's useful. First of all, what we can see is that the waves ratio really pumped up very hard, indicating it did, and just since October 22.79%, while the last time from May until July it did 22.32. So it's almost the same, and afterwards we remember we had a big, a decline. We went up to decline even more. So I would be extremely careful here. However, what the whales ratio is indicating here is that whales keep sending bitcoins to centralized exchanges, and that's usually absolutely not bullish at all, because why to unload at 17 or 16k if you can unload at 40, 50 or 60k, right? Or maybe 100. Now some people are right now publishing some really interesting charts indicating even $600,000 per Bitcoin would be possible in the next years. Well, what should I say? I mean, make your own trade strategy, your own conclusions. If you think that's possible, go for it. However, that doesn't look bullish at all. We will see. I mean, at the moment, the market price is just lifting up a little bit, but nothing big. Absolutely nothing big, and it looks relatively flat. If we go over to the whales ratio 1 hour time frame, we can see that they keep doing what they like to do, is let the price go up to start to distribute. Let the price go up to start to distribute. That's what they are doing. So desperate looking for upper prices to keep dumping it. Like we can see here. Whales ratio 30 hours moving average. Up, a little bit down, up more. That's pure distribution where the price went up. That's pure distribution. They just let the price go up to distribute more. That's what's happening. And we will see how that will play out, but I think we will go down. But, that's my expectation since a while. But they are not unloading. They are not unloading. It still looks like preparation. And sometimes we need to be careful because preparation, we know, whales like also to unload the way up. The question is, if those whales, what usually were those who drive the market and pushed up the price, who is going to do it? Where these guys wants to unload. We will check the market maker entities, what these guys are doing. That's not bullish. So that's the big question. Who is going to push up? Another thing that was very interesting, I was noticing a lot of money, a lot of Tether. From Binance, going out from hot wallets. So the hot wallets are those wallets where traders send their assets to trade afterwards, to buy, to sell, whatever. And I was noticing that Binance is sending from hot wallet USDT to their cold wallet. And that's the Binance cold wallet. And we are talking about a lot of money, like they are not sending this USDT back to Treasury. They are just, how to sell that? They are just putting them away in a cold wallet, waiting for what? I still don't know what they are doing. But to be honest, I don't like what they are doing. Because I don't see the logic behind it. If you don't need the USDT, just send them back to Treasury. But why to send $500 million of USDT to a Binance cold wallet? For what? Is Binance driving the markets right now? I don't know. Everything is possible. I can tell you that. But it was looking a little bit fishy to see that, to be honest. And they did that several times. And we are not talking about tiny amounts. We are talking about 400 millions, a total of 500 millions in USDT. And that's really very interesting what they are doing, but it's we can make a lot of theories, but we can't say exactly what they are doing. I just see that Bitfinex is really very active at the moment, using Kraken and Huobi, sending them USDT and so on and so forth, and afterwards the price starts to go up. So it looks like a little bit that centralized exchanges are playing a bigger role at the moment. Well, nobody is talking about Genesis, Silvergate, all the problems, they didn't disappear. And we know that Gemini did an open letter hitting Genesis and Grayscale, but, you know, I'm not sure what's behind, to be honest. However, it doesn't look great. The whole situation doesn't look great. Not really. While I see that we are failing. I mean, even if they want to let the price go up at 17K, they start to sell again. So I don't know why 70K is at the moment such a key level. I can't tell you that. I really don't. I can't. So let us go forward. This was a really long introduction with some of my, well, guesses, questions. We need to see what's going to happen this week, because even economic calendar is not indicating a lot. Tomorrow maybe ISM, manufacturing PMI, job opening, FOMC meeting minutes could be interesting. Thursday, non-farm employment, initial jobless claims could also be interesting, and Friday, non-farm payrolls, unemployment rate, and ASM, non-manufacturing PMA could also be extremely interesting. But I think the most interesting part is going to be next week, Thursday, core CPI, CPI monthly and yearly. So until then, I can imagine everything can happen. However, the start of this year related to the markets, it doesn't reflect the situation of the economy. And that's something we will see how this is going to end. Let us go forward. So, flow activity declined, of course. But if we check even, the 13th, where we received 3,000 bitcoins. We received a lot, while not a lot of stable coins came in, while we are doing higher lows and higher highs. Usually, while I'm noticing they are not unloading everything, usually we should start to go down afterwards, even if it's just a retest of a level of 16,000 or something, but usually it happens. We will see if that happens here as well. I just can tell you that we received, for example, since yesterday, again, few thousand bitcoins. I don't know, maybe 10,000 or something, while almost no stable coins. Almost no stable coins. The last one was 31st, 250 millions. And it seems they used the 250 millions to push up. So we need more stable coins, I guess, to push up even more. But maybe Binance is sending those 500 millions of stablecoins back to hot wallet. We will see. However, as mentioned here, a lot of flow activity, even if it's not huge. 1,000 here, another 1,000 here. Today it wasn't even less. We had here 1,150. That was this morning. That was the biggest. So yeah, that's how it looks like. In my opinion, it doesn't look bullish. While usually when we are going up, bringing more Bitcoins to centralized exchanges, usually we will go down afterwards. So we will see. Let us go forward. So related to futures, if we zoom in, we can see that was the top of the funding rate. Since then, it went down, it lifted up short term, and then it dumped. That's what we can see. They are indicating they are at the moment demanding more shorts than longs. We remember it was the opposite case from here, where we went up. We will check if we zoom out. So the open interest went up and is rising, even not big, and leverage ratio as well, but also here not big at all. If we check here, for example, we had a bigger outflow related to bitcoins and derivative exchanges, 4,250 bitcoins, while related to stablecoins, that was 140 millions. That was yesterday afternoon, so not big at all. And that's it. That's really it. No big volume showing up here. So if we check what's happening, we still can see that the trend of the funding rate is at the moment breaking to the downside. If that's going to happen and it will go down, it could give us an indication that a lot of people start to short. The question is why? While the open interest is lifting up. If we zoom out, we can see that's the aggregated. First of all, we liquidated some longs, but not big at all. I mean, over the holidays, nothing big happened, but we can see open interest here is now lifting up a little bit, leverage ratio as well, and the funding rate as here, it's also pushing up. At the moment, it looks like it wants to decline. That's something we need to see if that's going to happen. If we check Binance, Binance looks a little bit different. Also here, if we start to zoom out, we can see that the funding rate declined here and it's lifting up. So it's indicating they are on Binance at the moment demanding more longs. While open interest, I mean, we are still far away from December and even from November levels, but recovering a little bit, like the leverage ratio as well. That's what we can see here. If we go forward and check blockchain whispers, let me refresh, we can see that nothing big have changed. So we have 65 to 35, in my opinion bearish, because a lot of people are still expecting we will go up. Usually the markets do the opposite. At the same time, we see here on Ethereum, it's 57 to 43. It looks just more healthy, as usual. If we go to the Kingfisher and we check here, we see that also here nothing have changed. So we can go a little bit more up, maybe until 17K to liquidate all these high leverage shorts, or just going more down, hitting 16.6, maybe even 16.5 to liquidate all these high leverage longs. But if we check the whole map here, we see, well, we have 35 millions in liquidation. That's the maximum, and we will see them more in lower ranges. However, I think that could be attractive. That could be attractive here for centralized exchanges, just to use this tiny range to liquidate all of them. That's it. Let us go forward. So let us see what's happening here. We will zoom out a little bit to see a bigger picture, and we see that was the whole holidays, so nothing happened. So the trend was indicating we went down a little bit, and now we are going up a little bit, but nothing big, absolutely nothing. Aggregated looks similar, so down first, up afterwards, but even here nothing big. Bitcoin collateral doing almost the same, and futures collateral also the same, and that's almost what it's indicating, but not big at all. That's Binance, and Binance at the moment just having such a tiny range. If we check now Bitfinex is buying, as you see. Let us see more. Yeah. So, but also nothing big happening here. Absolutely nothing. Not even that is not big at all. Kraken, we can check what Kraken is doing. Kraken is not doing anything, almost doing the same like Bitfinex a little bit, but nothing special. So also not big volume related here. Bybit is declining, but also not big at all. Coinbase, wow, I was expecting that Coinbase is lifting up, but it's not. It's declining. That's strange. Well, it's not strange. I mean, while the price is going up, they are just unloading. It makes sense to make money. And I mean, just in not even 1 week, we are talking about 3,000 Bitcoins less. Bitstamp, bullish as usual. Someone told me Bitstamp is the retailers exchange. Never heard about that, but well, maybe that explains a lot, because we know that retailers entities are lifting up in balances. But yes, I mean, Bitstamp pushing up. And Gimini, let us check what Gimini is doing. Some people saying Gimini is underwater because of Genesis and Grayscale. I don't know. But also here nothing happening. Absolutely nothing. Looks relatively flat with some, as you can see here, very strange. It looks like a little bit like algo trading, but nothing big. So if we go and check the entities, retailers lifting up, but not big at all. Absolutely not. Here, retailers pushing up more. This guy's here maintaining, not doing anything. This guy's here pushing up a little bit, but nothing big. I mean, we are not talking here about huge volume. And market maker entities, that's really that's a big pain to see that, to be honest. And I'm convinced something big is going to happen very soon. And I don't think that's going to be very bullish. These guys have a plan, and it's declining, reduce their balances as much as they can. The question is why? That's the key question. Why? What they know, what we don't. I don't know. They are not bringing any fear. They are not trying to push the price to 10, to 8, to 6 or whatever. But they don't let the price go up as well. The question is why? I don't know. But we have less wallets here related to the market maker entities, and we have reached a new level of 4,560,000. So just to make a comparison, in October 8th they had 4,920,000. and that was low. You remember I said, oh Jesus, we are below 5 million. So 4,920,000. Now we have 4,560,000. That's huge. I mean, that's just, if we check that, that's huge. And these guys are distributing. They are not bringing any fear. They are just distributing. They are selling. It's 16.5, it's 16.4, it's 17K. And that's really crazy. While entities or wallets related mainly to centralized exchanges are lifting up imbalances, indicating they are getting more bitcoins. Here we can see what the market maker entities were doing. They were sending all the time bitcoins to centralized exchanges and to OTC to unload, and nothing happened. I mean, really nothing happened. It takes a little bit. Yeah. If we check that, we had just before we dumped a lot more activity than we have right now. The thing is, they are just distributing all the time. And the last, since mid of December, much more. And the question is why? But they try to push the price or to let the price go up. But as soon as we try to push up to 16.8, they start to distribute once again. That's what's happening all the time. Nothing to see here, just balances on centralized exchanges on spot is lifting up. Market activity is declining even more and more and more. I mean, if I reduce everything, that's the average. And you can see what the market activity is doing. It's really crazy what's happening. Also for futures. But it seems some people think that's extremely bullish. So at the same time, we see that miners received more bitcoins. And that's something, very interesting. The question is, are they getting bitcoins because they are mining, or because they are using maybe futures, collateral bitcoins, and getting more bitcoins? I don't know. But however, their reserves are lifting up. That's, I would say, something, a good indicator for miners. Even they will distribute them afterwards, but they are still operating and running, so that's a good sign. OTC, centralized exchanges, as usual, like what it's happening since a while. Every time these guys are very active, centralized exchanges, the price goes up. When OTC starts to be very active, they are sending funds, so bitcoins for example, and afterwards the price goes down. So nothing have changed here as well. And yeah, that's almost it. So we can see we had a bigger outflows. So the net flow was twice less than 3,000, indicating they took profit. We can just refresh the site. Oh, no, it changed a little bit, it seems. Oh yeah, that's now much better. So indicating they're taking just some bitcoins from centralized exchanges. If we check the balance of exchanges, we can see it's lifting up once again after we had that kind of bank run related to Binance. At least it started here, and yeah, we went down, and now it's pushing up once again. So also nothing big really to see here. So on Coinbase, Coinbase is limiting the way up at 70k, but at the same time at 16,350. However, if we check, they reduced liquidity to the downside, for example here at 15k, but everything else is still intact. So at the moment what we see here, or what I see here, is that here and that here. So we can at the moment, related to Coinbase, trade between 17k and maybe 16.3. So if we go to Deribit, and I need to reduce, we don't see anything. On Deribit, they even remove the wall here at 16.1, and they are limiting the way down, the way up to at 17.5. But you know, we have more short orders than long orders. Bitstamp, I think I have to reduce here as well, but I don't see any kind of wall. 16.1, 16k, and the sandwich still here at 14. They have something at 15.5, but nothing big, and they removed here at 14.4. Otherwise, also here at 17.5, we have a big wall waiting the way up. Also it's 17, for example, waiting there, and 17.4. Binance looks very interesting what they are doing. That's like a stare, indicating they want to they don't want to let the price go down much more, while at the same time you can see at 17k to 17.3 a lot of sell orders waiting, and even more up, hitting 18k, 18.5, 19k. I mean, if we check that, we see more orders to the upside than to the downside, until, I mean, they removed some liquidity, but I would say 14.5 until 14.5. That's how it looks like. However, it's also showing you they don't want to let the price go down at the moment. So they want to trigger some sell orders first, it seems. Bitfinex spot. Bitfinex at the moment limiting the way up at 16.7. Yeah, and the next wall to absorb would be at 15.8. OKEX spot. Nothing. Kraken spot. Only limiting the way up at 17k. Nothing. Bybit. Nothing. Wow, what happened here? BitMEX. Oh, BitMEX. BitMEX limiting the way down at 16.6. And it seems the way up at 16.8. Yeah, it looks like. Let us go a little bit more up. Nothing big, but enough. Binance futures. Wow. Look at that. Let us reduce a little bit so that we can see something. Wow, that looks so fucking bearish. We have until 17.5 almost more than 2,000 bitcoins more ready to short than to long. And the next bigger long order would be at 15.2. Otherwise, the next bigger short order at 16.9. Wow. And also here it's 17.3 waiting Bitfinex derivatives, nothing. Kraken futures, nothing, waiting at 16.6, but even here they removed liquidity at 17.4. OKEX futures waiting at 17k to short, but nothing more. OKEX swap, nothing have changed here. No, nothing have changed here. And last but not least, hello, BTC USDT by Bybit. Also nothing happening here. No. That's it.